we're going to answer the question, what is integrity? And as usual, I'll look at this from the standpoint of leadership. So let's get into it. After looking into this a bit, integrity has two parts. And the first way is the way most of us understand it. Part A is the quality of being honest, having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. This is about honesty, good character, and being trustworthy. This aspect of integrity usually becomes visible when we are honest, tell the truth, and have good character in difficult situations. The second part is even more interesting to me. Part B is the state of being whole and undivided. This is about our internal unity and coherence. In other words, if you've ever been conflicted about your actions and decisions and thoughts, when it came to your beliefs and morals, that may be a signal that you're not feeling whole and undivided inside. If you feel confused or torn about where you stand, that's another signal that you have some internal unity and coherence issues. You haven't settled it yet. And really, the presence or absence of integrity on the inside like this is where it starts. Our inner world drives our outward actions. So let's dig deeper into this, and we'll start on the inside. First and foremost, integrity is an internal quality that people possess that others may not see. As Nelson Mandela once said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. This is a prerequisite to integrity. People who can't do an honest self-reflection are going to get stuck, and it will be hard for them to grow and mature. I can't remember where I first heard this example, but I was once reading about a guy who made a personal commitment to not ever take anything that wasn't his, no matter how valuable it was, even if no one was watching. So I believe the example he used was, well, what if one day he was walking down an empty beach and he saw a Rolex watch in the sand? He said he wouldn't pick it up. That's an example of internal unity and coherence. Nobody's watching, and he's not rationalizing or fooling himself so that he somehow gets to keep that Rolex watch. He knows who he is and what he's made of, and he's not going to take something that's not his. I just read the other day about an employee at a Goodwill location who found $42,000 in cash that was wrapped up in some donated sweaters. As the employee was sorting through the donated clothes, she felt what she thought was a book inside the clothing. When she opened it up, she saw these massive stacks of cash, but she didn't hesitate. She instantly told her manager, and they tracked down the person who donated those clothes, and they returned the money. In an interview, she said it would never have occurred to her to keep the money. I'm sure it felt great for her to know who she was. It feels freeing and powerful to have that internal consistency rather than rationalizing and wrestling with moral decisions. And it's really easy to admire her because her moral compass was whole and undivided. And by the way, in return, the person who donated the clothes gave her $1,000 as a gift for being honest. But she didn't know that that was going to happen ahead of time. Oprah Winfrey once repeated an old-fashioned sentiment that I agree with. She said, real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody is going to know whether or not you did it. That's integrity. Second, as an extension of what we've said, other people may or may not eventually notice your integrity on the outside. And when they notice, it could help you, but it could also cost you. Nicky Gumbel is an English Anglican priest, but he started out as a lawyer, and he tells lots of stories about the old days as a lawyer. One story he tells is about another lawyer he knows in England. And one day, this young mid-level lawyer was in an office with the boss, the top partner at the firm. The phone rang, and as the young lawyer reached for it, the boss said to him, "If that's for me, tell them I'm not here." So the young lawyer answered the phone, and he said, "Yes, he's here. Just a moment." And he handed the phone to his boss. His boss glared at him, face turned red. He took the phone, had a brief conversation, and he hung up. And he turned and was about to tear into that young lawyer. But the young lawyer spoke first. He said to his boss, "I will never lie for you, and I will never lie to you." That's integrity. His integrity is being tested. And some people might say, well, it's just a little white lie. But a person with a strong internal commitment to honesty won't do that. And the boss, by the way, was so impressed that he put that young lawyer in charge of lots of important cases and even asked him to be his personal attorney. But the key here is that the young lawyer didn't know that it would work out like that. He was sticking his neck out there, and it could have cost him. And even in the best of cases, it may take a long time before anybody recognizes that you have integrity, because it's mainly on the inside and only gets publicly tested in really visible ways a small percentage of the time. But we don't strive to have integrity to impress others. We do it because, can you guess, say it with me, it's the right thing to do. Here are a few practical takeaways. Integrity is a choice. It's a commitment that you make to be honest, trustworthy, and base your life and decisions on good morals. Integrity often means doing the right thing, even if it means putting your own benefits at risk. Question of the day: do you know anybody personally that has integrity? Share your examples below. I would love to read them. Until next time, God bless, and I will see you soon.